Yep.
Okay, so my presentation is going to be on my game called Whisper the Cat. It's going to be based on a cat. It's going to be a titular cat. This presentation will just details. Presentation will outline the requirements of a multimedia technology brief and project management brief. So the project goals are to create a functioning demo level of a conceptually larger game created and coded in Unity, to provide the required, to produce the required assets using Blender, Photoshop, Illustrator, and Reaper, to undertake the appropriate market research, investigate research hardware requirements, current trends, and to plan and schedule my time appropriately. So part one is description of software. Technical description is the software I'll be producing will be a 2D or 3D fully functional demo level for a game created in Unity, coded in JavaScript, as comes everyone else. We'll be able to run on web browsers and Google's Android operating system ideally, well, primarily Android, and primarily a touch-based interface as well. Modeling will be done in Blender, 2D art in Photoshop, Illustrator, audio and Reaper, and it will contain these elements according to the brief. So the scope document, I only did one because this is kind of an idea I've had for a little while, and any other scope documents would just be ones I kind of disregarded before. So the title is Whisper the Cat. It's a 2D puzzle or 2.5D puzzle platformer. The age rating and target audience will be 12 plus for Peggy, as we'll have the dark theme, will be some violence towards recognizable animals, and scenes that could be considered scary. Primary platform is Android, but will also work in the Unity web player. And the gameplay is a platform with some environmental physical-based elements. The story is an abandoned kitten must escape the dark and dangerous wild and find safety, which is based on the actual game. So that's the day I got her. So she was kind of found out in Wexford, abandoned. And my kind of story was kind of my imagination of what happened to her before I got her. In terms of gameplay, the game would require the character who would be a 3D model to move across a 2D plane in a 3D environment, solving physics-based puzzles to pass obstacles and avoid enemies. The character would be controlled by dragging along the area of the screen you wanted to move and attacking the interactive objects. Very similar to, I saw a video, I haven't played it myself. On the iOS port of Limbo, it's supposed to have very good touchscreen controls, which is something that platforms on touchscreens are notoriously difficult to do. So the character will be able to walk and run, crawl, jump, grab, climb, and push and pull objects on the level, but has no direct attack of its own. He's not in first level. Simple stealth mechanics would involve the avoidance of enemy cones of vision, as they're placed around the level. Goals and progression. The way would be blocked with points by physics puzzles or hazards, requiring manipulation of the environment, such as pulling objects to cause reactions up and down. Most of the hazards in the game would be environmental hazards, especially in the first level, kind of just to teach the player what's going on. And as well as some, intelligent, just in terms that they have some AI scripting, enemies that'll have to be stuck around. There would be no implicit scoring necessarily, because I kind of wanted to be maybe a little more narrative focused than mechanically focused, even though obviously mechanics will be in it. And maybe I'd have a collectible or something like that, and a single hit death, but that's to be seen still. So the environment will be based on my own research photos taken around my back garden and various parts of the streets, which I don't have any examples of at the moment. The level I build will be first in the full game and start in the forest, with Whisper emerging after being abandoned. It's 7 nights, so it would also have a dark theme, but it's not really dark. The ground would be a flat plane, almost without earth.
Speed up then, please.
Yeah, almost resembling the other stage. That's basically. Similar games, these are videos, they're just kind of, if you want to take notes of the names, kind of little points that I liked from each one of them. I'll show you this Dear God one just by itself because that's just a good.
Amount of time within.
Yeah, I'll just show you 2 seconds of it, just to kind of give you a sense of the way they kind of set up the environment. So here you can see it's kind of in 3D, but it kind of has different planes. This character there, you can barely see it. And this kind of creates an interesting parallax kind of environment. And so I just thought it was interesting after this game over summer, so just fresh in my mind. And production schedule. So Today, I have to have a presentation, my research done, the concept and design finalized, which I have done. And these are gonna be broken down every week. So concept art I have to get done now, and then I have to start making the actual assets with priorities of the character. And then I also have, then once that's done, it comes bringing it into Unity and kind of scripting it up, setting it up. And I have 2 weeks for stuff that, like, you know, I might not get done in time, just in case. And another 2 weeks for testing and finalizing. Testing 2 weeks, will be distributed to class members along with a Google survey, and will be focused on fixing bugs as opposed to gauging interest. Distributions could be submitted to the Google Play Store for authorization, but it will mainly be made playable on the website that we'll be creating for it using Unity Web Player. Compatibility, yeah, basically just minimum spec Android. I think the Play Store kind of takes care of, doesn't allow you to download it to an incompatible device, so that'll hopefully help. And the web player version will not be available on Google Chrome as it doesn't support it. Copyright details. Basically just saying that anything created and named by me is that. And so choices of hardware, Android has a much higher market share these days. Also a higher range of devices. So, you know, people have cheap phones, more kind of different markets available to me. And that's stuff. Technical requirements is basically in, you know, complete minimal stuff you need will be OS, capacitive touchscreen, at least a 720 resolution. You know, some kind of audio, internet connection to access it, and processing capability basically. And the test device would be the Nexus 7 tablet. And this is just some graphs showing market research and stuff like that. Showing that games on Android seem to be very popular these days. I think this is the last slide. It's just some predictions based on current trends. Things like having to make an iOS version. We're going to work on porting it to VR and the console version perhaps. That was possible in the future.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Thanks, William. Okay, just, I don't have time for questions, and that just went on too long, so I'll talk to you maybe a little bit after. Is that okay? Guys, we'll get